When we inherited HO, we had a great brand. We had amazing marketing. We were market share leaders, but we didn't have an engineer or a CAD designer or a machinist that could make a ski. No one knows this. We hid it really well. And so I came in, I was in Chile, I came home, I went in my office, and people just put stuff in my office all the time, which I hate. I like things clean. There's like ski boxes, I'm like, I was all pissed. I'm pulling boxes out, throwing stuff in the hall. One of the boxes was the original A1 mold. We didn't know how to make a mold. Really, if it wasn't for Bob LaPointe and Chris LaPointe, they came to Seattle, and I spent a week with them downstairs in the shop, and we made a soft tool mold of a design which isn't really the A1 that we sold, but was the precursor to that. And Bob and Chris hadn't made a soft tool mold in a long time, so they were kind of like remembering, and oh, how do we do this? And we hammered away at this thing for like a week straight. We got it all done. We got it waxed up. We got it in the press. We're ready to go. We lay up the first ski. We get it in the mold. It cooks for 12 minutes. It pops open. The ski was just laminated to the mold. I mean, man, like, it was like mechanically fused. It was unbelievable how we spent like 2 hours trying to get out of the mold. And honestly, the way we did was LaPointe got so frustrated. All I remember is Bob with a sledgehammer just smacking the soft tool mold. Like pieces of resin are flying up, like his lips cut, it's bleeding. There's not much speaking going on. This ski comes out, half the top's pulled off, the bottom's pulled off. It was the worst looking ski you've ever seen, and the mold was ruined. Like, you know, it's like, oh, they really broke the mold when they made this one. That's literally how the first ski was made. And we patched it up and painted it, and we sent it to Will Asher. He ran 39 at the Moomba Masters on that ski. And I never forget that, to watch the LaPointe brothers, how much like literally blood, sweat, and tears went into building that first ski, and to see Willie take it and run 39 at Moomba, which at the time only like 2 or 3 people had ever done. Like maybe Andy and CP. I don't know who else, maybe that's probably it. And it was a cool experience, man. For being like a water ski nerd, you know, like a kid that grew up with a poster on the wall, to have that, to build a mold with the LaPointe brothers, to have it get stuck, to have it get ruined, to go through the whole process, to have it come out, to have Willie ski on, and then to go on to make so many skis with Bob. And I don't know what made me think of that, but just coming back, I had forgotten about it actually, but to have that thing in my office, I just had to laugh. It's like, we've come a long way. Is there still soul at HO, the big corporate entity? Hell yeah, there's soul at HO. I mean, I hope you see it, because every year we pour our soul and our passion out there, and we try and make these beautiful products, that perform extremely well. And they're made by people, and they pour their heart and soul into that. There's people behind every fin you see, and every boot you try on every water ski you ride, every tube you hook up to the line, or vest you zip up and buckle. I started out as an aerospace engineer and actually changed mechanical engineering, but that's the company you want to work for. You want to work for Lockheed Martin, you want to work for Boeing, you want to work for this aerospace defense contractor, because they get to work on the cool stuff. The rockets and the airplanes and the radical materials and all that. And yeah, I mean, I could be in that world for sure. But you know, I was a skier, man. That's what it was. Like, I would leave Lockheed and I would drive an hour to the lake and ski with my friend Pete Bauer in Denver, and he would pull me at 6 p.m., you know, take time away from his family when they should be eating dinner to pull me so I could water ski. And I just couldn't scratch the itch enough. Like, I had ideas, I wanted to pursue it, and I was super lucky, like so lucky. I got an opportunity to come here and do this. So when you get that opportunity, like, you gotta make it count. And so I got some good people around me, people who shared a vision, people that are passionate, and we went for it. And that's what's really helped us make great product. And yeah, I think about the aerospace days again, you know, but I try and like take that precision of aerospace, or take that aerospace mentality and apply it to what we do. And that's been huge. just that attention to detail. Treating it like that as opposed to a toy has really been hugely beneficial for us. You know, engineering-wise, Jeff Shaw is really the backbone of the engineering program. He's very unique in the sense that he's a mechanical engineer and highly educated, went to Stanford, but at the same time he's an industrial designer. So he's kind of like that magic between science and art, or engineering and design. If we're really going to make best product, not only does it have to perform, but it has to be beautiful. Like, it has to be something that has like an emotional reaction to it, like something that hopefully I can make a product you love. You know, you can't explain it, you just feel it. And you only get that by having someone like Jeff, who's an engineer and a designer. It sounds weird to say for an engineer to say this, but it's like, you have to love it. Now, I'll be honest, I don't love every product we make, but that's the goal. There's certain water skis we made, like I love them. I think like that's a beautiful product. Like, you feel this weird connection to it, you know what I mean? And obviously you're not gonna feel that maybe about a tube, but your kids might. You know, what I feel about a ski, they might feel about a tube, because they had the great time with their brother and sister, and they always remember hanging out with their grandpa at the lake, and it's like that part of your life, and that product might have tied those things together. The product's not the important part, but their experience is. But the product can help create that experience or aid in it, you know what I mean? So trying to combine that engineering and design, or that art and science, that's what makes a beautiful product. That's what makes something that motivates people to get out there. That's what makes products that bring people together to create those experiences. Hopefully we can do that for you. A design isn't truly like reach its potential unless the art beautifully melds with the ID. And we're really lucky to have two very talented artists. We have John Yan, who's been with us actually longer than I've been at HO, and Brett Perry. They are pushing the design or the engineering, even with the applications they want to do in the art world. They spend a lot of time with vendors working on new inks and metallics and materials and things like that, and it's cool to see the synergies between engineering and art come to fruition. The process really helped me in life. I almost learned more from water skiing than I did from engineering school. And I see a lot of people, they need skiing and they need that release, or they need that confidence boost, or they need that breakthrough. You give them a breakthrough in skiing and it can take them different places in life. It did for me. So yeah, I want to help people make the breakthrough. Whatever it is, 28 off, or 38 off, or winning a national championship, or just enjoying the lake with your kids and getting up and cruising around. It doesn't matter. I just think it makes their life better. Product-wise, I mean, you've got engineering, you've got art, but those are only as good as getting that message out there to the people. And I'm lucky to work with John Mommer, who's an awesome water skier, 3-time national champion, and he's really like pushing the industry, I think, in getting that message out through our social media channels. He's really gets it when it comes to digital marketing, and I think HO, between what John and Marcus has done with content creation and our storytelling, is really leading not only water skiing, but maybe the industry in terms of getting product message out there, getting it to consumers, educating them on product. I think that's the future of marketing, like just telling your story and getting it to your people. There's engineering, there's art, there's the marketing message, but I think service and customer service is really almost the most important part. Like having that connection. You know, not everybody skis the same, and all as much time we put into factory settings, they need to be tweaked, they need to be fine-tuned. Sam's like the man at that. You know, he gets it. He's a skier. He works really closely with myself and Marcus and Bob and Will, and he is that connection between, you know, those great elite skiers and our customer base. Every day you go in the water, when you get out, you feel better. I think it's so true. Like, it doesn't matter if you went for a swim, or you went for a paddle, or you went for a water ski ride, like your day is better afterwards. So, and that's never gonna go away. That's never gonna go out of style, and never gonna fall out of trend. It can't be replicated through the digital world, or social media, or virtual reality video games. It's just no way. Chris Terrell, I mean, he works on a lot of the integral products that go around what maybe I focus on, which is, you know, water skis and water ski boots, our inflatable tube program, the drop stitch program, which for HO, I think we're kind of leading and pioneering in that area. Those have been great successes. The RAD, the FAD, the PAD, islands, things like that. Those are really vital to the business because they really embrace what we stand for, which is like everybody get on the water, a lot of participation. That's what HO is based on, and it really helps make it a family activity. And without Chris, who's really crunching the details on all those products, our brand wouldn't be nearly as well-rounded as it is. You have a responsibility to make sure that the decisions you make and the products you build are up to par with what needs to be to keep not only your small team employed, but also your entire dealer network, which are like 60 countries, hundreds of dealers that are counting on you, and your customer base, you know what I mean? So you can't think next quarter, you can't think next year. You gotta convince the accountants that, hey, we need to invest in our company, we need to do the right thing, we need to like take risk, you need to believe in us to make it happen, we need to be forward thinking, we need to do things we're not currently doing, we need to look into new products that aren't currently made or could be made in a couple years if you want to keep this whole thing evolving. Because if you just make a water ski handle the same as you did 10 years ago and focus on that, you'll be left behind. And if you look at our industry, there's a lot of brands that have been. Great brands that have been left behind, you know, and we're not. HO won't be left behind. Like that's my responsibility to make sure that that never happens, you know, and that we're leading that trend, or at least put a hell of an effort to do so.